What's going on, guys? Greg Bear here of Greg's Halfling Garden channel. Today's video is going to be short and sweet. Just want to talk about how much money I made in the 2020 season at my tiny little produce stand at the bottom of my driveway. With that being said, roll that intro. So on top of growing this sweet beard since my last post, which was probably August now, which I apologize for anybody who actually watches my channel, I also grew my savings quite a bit with what I made at the produce stand. So let's take a look at this pile of cash. Here we go, ready for the big reveal. Ooh-wee! That's a ton of money. So what we got here? We got $400 in ones. I actually turned in a lot of the ones I made at the bank because I was sick holding on to them. So I'll just tell you, I made $1,380 and probably $1,200 in that was $1 bills. So I've turned in a lot to the bank now just to get rid of them. I exchanged them for 20s. So we've got 401s, about $405 bills, and the rest in 20s right here. Ton of money. Yeah, I mean, overall my expenditures last year were probably looking at less than, I spent $400 because that's what I made last year. So I reinvested it all with the water barrel thing I did, with bubble wrapping my greenhouse. I bought the Max Tapener tool, soil from last year, and seeds and stuff like that. So it adds up, but I'm definitely making a profit here. Super easy work, super satisfying work. I mean, if I wasn't making money on it, I'd still be working in the garden because I love to grow my own food. And yeah, it's a super satisfying thing to do. So what am I going to do with all this money this year? I've actually already spent some of the money. I bought seeds, of course. I spent about $80 at Baker Creek this year. That'll be probably my next video coming up once I get all the seeds in. We'll go over what I'm going to grow. And then probably the video after that, honestly, I'm going to be planting somewhere before March starts because I want to get a really early start on my peppers, get a nice strong root base on those. What else am I going to do? I got to buy soil. For any of you who live in the Northeast, that snowstorm that happened around December 17th, we got 40 inches of snow, so my greenhouse top collapsed. It was about 6 years old. It was, what's the name of it? I think it's Garden Treasures is the brand. It's a very nice gable top greenhouse, 6 foot by 8 foot. It's a vinyl material with like strands of rope in between it. It held up very well. Honestly, if this snow didn't happen, I would have got at least another 3 years out of it. But luckily I went on eBay and I found a 10 by 10 foot tarp that has grommets about every 3 feet all the way around, and it's the same exact material. I got that for $36 because buying a brand new cover for the whole greenhouse was $180. And I actually bought that greenhouse for $75 at Lowe's on clearance about 6 years ago now. So yeah, just gotta get some more time out of it. Maybe someday I'll buy something bigger, build something out of wood, who knows. So there's another expenditure right there. What else do I want to do? I'm thinking about expanding the garden one more time. Right to the right of it, I had a peach tree that died, so that whole area is open. I can add another 4 to 5 feet on the garden on that side if I want to. So I'm going to look into that. If I do, I'm going to go with, 2 by 12 by 12 foot pressure treated wood. Those things run at least $30 a piece, and I'm going to need maybe 8 of them plus some stakes to pound in the ground. Luckily I can get all the compost for free from the composting facility in Endicott, so that's a win there. And of course I got to figure out if I'm going to need to get more fencing. Also want to do more trellising. I have my big posts spaced out probably about every 15 feet. I want to add another post in between those so it takes the load off, because even using like a 120-pound test fishing line, it does sag a lot with the weight of the tomatoes on there. So, and I want to keep the tomato plants off the ground as much as I can this year because of the blight once again hit, of course. I used some blight resistant plants from Johnny's, and probably my fault. Towards the beginning, they were laying on the ground for a bit, so they probably got a lot of soil-borne pathogens in them from that. because I was a little late to get the trellis up last year. So this year I'm going to be on top of my game. I'm going to get the fishing line up as soon as I can before I even put the plants out there, so I can tie them up immediately with the max tapener and solve this problem. See if these blight resistant tomato varieties are actually blight resistant if I do everything right. Yeah, definitely going to grow the Juliet again. If you guys are looking for a really healthy, productive grape slash plum tomato, the Juliet was very, very good. Super heavy loads. It was a great summer though for me. We got really nice patterns of rain, probably like once a week, and some very good 80 to 95 degree days for at least a month to a month and a half straight. So it was a very good year for tomatoes. I do have to go over what I actually grew last year. I don't have a super accurate log, but it was somewhere in the neighborhood of about 300 pounds of tomatoes, and that was grown in a total of 600 square feet between my two gardens. Cucumbers didn't do really good. A lot of people in my area had problems with cucumbers, getting the yellow spots on the leaves. The leaves would then shrivel up and the blooms would never fertilize, and I wouldn't get cucumbers. I actually tried to grow what's called a double yield cucumber last year, but I also still grew my Market More and Straight Eights as well, just in case, and they all did very bad last year, which was crazy considering what the weather was like. It wasn't too moist, but yeah, who knows. What else? I tried a different variety of beans in 2020 and regret that completely. I probably got about half of what I normally do. I usually can get up to 150 pounds in the same area I grow my tomatoes. They actually grow on the tomato plants. This year, I probably might have got 50 pounds, which was a huge bummer. What do we got? Beans, peppers. Oh, peppers did very well. I think I made like 50 bucks off peppers this year. I had about maybe 50 bell pepper plants. I started them probably late March, so I'm going to start them in the beginning of March this time to give them another month early to get the roots super strong. And yeah, peppers did very good. What else am I doing? Oh, acorn squash. I might have gotten like 10 squash on the plants. Those did very good. Butternut squash. I think I grew 15 butternut squashes, ranging from about a pound to 6 pounds. And I sold those according. Smaller ones were about $1. Mediums were, I think, $2, and the large were $5. I made a pretty good profit. I made like another 50 bucks off of those. I'm not sure exactly. And what else? Zucchini and yellow squash. Those were super abundant. If you guys haven't seen my video on injecting the stems of your squash plants with the BT using the needle from Tractor Supply, the ones you'd use for like pigs and stuff, definitely check that out. I've had problems with squash borers pretty much my entire time gardening, which probably my adulthood is close to 10 years now. I mean, I've been gardening for like 20 years as a kid, on and off, but not serious. And then when I bought my house, I started getting pretty serious with it. So definitely check that out. It actually works. Really, all you do is inject the bottom of the stem where the squash borer would lay its eggs. You see those little cute little moths in the early spring and early summer. They lay the eggs right inside the bottom of the stem, and then the squash borer larvae hatches and it bores its way through the stem. Basically, it's going to eat the BT and die, and your plant will be saved. I did some tests on that. I did a couple plants without it and then some with it, and literally there's a night and day difference. The plants that I didn't inject, of course, they died, and the ones that I did inject definitely lasted the entire season. And you know, you still get like those stink bug looking things, squash bugs on the bottom where you have to get the eggs off. I use tape for that, but yeah, really simple process. You're gonna invest maybe less than $20, and honestly, that bottle of BT, depending on if you're a serious gardener or not, which I have like 30 squash plants usually, I've barely scratched the surface on that. I've probably used less than a tenth of that bottle, so I got plenty of time on that. But yeah, so rambling on here. Zucchini and yellow squash, I sell those for between 50 and 75 cents a piece. I probably grew at least 30 to 50 of those, so math on that, I probably made 40 bucks off of that. What else? I did make trellises this year. I think I did show a video of that a long time ago. I make 6-foot trellises, very nice. I pay a total of about $2.50 for the wood and the very expensive exterior grade wood screws. And of course the wood is pressure treated, and I use my table saw, cut the strips out and make the trellises like that. I sell them for 10 bucks, and I also make a miniature version that I sell for 5 bucks. So that was a huge portion of the money I made this year. I'd say about 3/4 of this is from produce and the rest is from trellises. So I'll be reopening it up, I think on whatever holiday that is in May. It's Labor Day, Memorial Day, one of those, but that'll be my first day opening up again. This year I plan on doing, probably having at least 20 trellises ready, 20 big ones and then 20 small ones, and I'll have a lot of plant starts, which I haven't shown yet. I actually got a whole nother shelf and another 9 shop lights from Sam's Club to start more plants in. Pretty much the entire new shelf is just going to be to start plants to sell, and then my old shelf will be to start plants to grow. There's a huge profit margin in growing plants and selling them. I only sell the 6-packs for $1, and I mean, between the plug trays, which are $1.10 for 48 trays, or 8 6-packs, which I sell for $1, so you can make $8 there. And then the soil, I might have $1 to $2 in each tray. I'm probably way over exaggerating that because I can also cut the potting soil with some compost from the facility to cheap it out a little bit more. And then of course the time under the lights, which is nothing because these are LED lights and they use, I think it's 60 watts. No, I'm trying to think. It might be 30 watts per light, which equates to about, I'm going to spend maybe $30 altogether for the entire season for all my lights, which is nothing. I'll still have a nice profit margin this year too. Oh yeah, I forgot, I grew pumpkins too. That was another big one. Jack B. Little pumpkins. The ones that you put on your Thanksgiving table, they're like 4 inches across. They have the really nice ridges in them, nice little stems. I grew, God, it had to be close to 30 of those. I sold those for $1 a piece. That's going to be the main reason I'm expanding my garden. I can fit a ton more pumpkin plants. Instead of me, what I like to do, I actually go up to Syracuse. There's a farmer that I go to every year, and he sells his stuff really cheap, and I'm able to go up there. Also use it as a day to go apple picking and have fun in this agriculture region near Syracuse. Drink some cider, have some apple fritters and stuff, have a good day, pick some pumpkins, come back, and then resell them at my stand. I'm hoping to never do that again eventually once I expand my garden enough to a point, and hopefully this year we'll do it. So yeah, sorry, this video was supposed to be a short one. I kind of blabbered on here, but you know, it's very exciting. I know for all you gardeners out there that are stuck inside with the pandemic right now and it being January, especially those of you in the northern region going a little stir crazy right now. I ordered my Baker Creek catalog and it came like 2 months ago probably, and I've been staring at that thing ever since and watching YouTube videos on gardening just to keep myself alive till first day of spring comes here, and Home Depot and Lowe's has their Black Friday spring sales and I can go wild and look at fruit trees and stuff. One more thing, I did go on a website called Rain Tree Nurseries and I bought 2 apple trees. They are disease resistant to cedar apple rust and all the common problems I have with my apple trees. And it's grafted with 3 varieties, Liberty, I think Dacan, and one other one. And it's a bare root. It's about 5 feet tall. They run $50 a piece. And with shipping, I think I paid about $118 for the 2 to get to my house. They'll be shipped sometime between March and May. Super pumped about that. It sucks that I have to start all over. I mean, the trees I bought from Lowe's 6 years ago are very mature. They're over 20 feet tall. The trunks on some of them are probably upwards of 6 inches now, and they don't give me anything for some reason. They'll have some blooms on them, like the tree will be 25% with blooms on it, and nothing will come of it. No apples will come, and if it does, they just fall off because of the cedar apple rust. So I'm really excited to try these out. That's another thing I use this money for, and that is that. Hopefully next time you see me, I will have my seed packet in the mail and we can go over all the awesome varieties I'm trying this year. I do have to order a couple more things from Johnny's as well. I found the cheapest place to buy bulk like basil seeds and all the herb seeds I want to grow to sell plants of is Johnny's. Shipping is a little annoying. I've never seen a store recently that doesn't have free shipping. They anything over $200 is free shipping on Johnny's, which is pretty crazy. If you just want to buy one seed packet, you're still going to pay at least $5 just for shipping, which is pretty inconvenient. So I got to make it worth it and buy enough off Johnny's. And well, I think that is it. I know it's been a long time since I uploaded. Long story short, when I was making all the videos for the channel before, I was actually furloughed from my job because of the pandemic. So I had a ton of free time to garden and make these videos. And then I actually got terminated from my job because they restructured the whole company and I lost my position. I'd been with the company for 12 years and it came to a point they actually called me back and offered me another position. I had to make the hard decision to take a $10,000 pay cut and have more responsibilities now or go somewhere else. But I was able to retain my vacation time, my 401k, and all my benefits there. Just had to take the pay cut and a little bit more responsibility. But, you know, had to do what you had to do. So, yeah, I've been a little busy there. It's been a heck of a time. You know, you think the pandemic would slow this place down, but it didn't at all. So I've been working overtime whenever I can to try to make up for that pay cut. So, hope to see you guys all next time. Look for the next video, probably in the next month or so. The seeds actually shipped out, I think it was 3 days ago. And then I actually ordered another batch and they already shipped out. So I should have everything within a week. And we will be posting the next video very soon. So if you like this video, definitely consider giving it a like. If you want to see more, definitely consider subscribing to Greg's Halfling family. Become one of my halflings, and of course definitely ring that notification bell, help me get that algorithm on my side, and hope to see you guys all next adventure. Greg Bear out.